Now, how far would you go for love? Would you cross oceans for it? Well, let me tell y'all a story about someone who did. The final resting place that I showed y'all earlier belonged to a woman named Agnes of Glasgow. Agnes was a young woman back in the 1700s, and she was madly in love with a Lieutenant Angus MacPherson. Unfortunately for Agnes, her love was called up to serve the king across the ocean over in the colonies. It was 1779 or so, and the Revolutionary War was raging on in the colony of South Carolina. When her love left, her heart broke, and something inside her must have snapped. Because you gotta be a little bit crazy to stow away on a ship across the whole ocean to go track down the love of your life. That's right, Agnes snuck onto a boat headed to Charleston, South Carolina, and made the more than a month-long journey across the ocean in secret. When she arrived in Charleston, she actually happened to be there at the same time as Angus, but she could not find him. She did get word, though, that he may have been injured and was headed inland. She believed he had headed towards Camden, so she did too. Now it's roughly 173 miles from the port of Charleston to the backwoods town, at that point, of Camden, South Carolina, with very little in between but wilderness. Every so often, a little town would be dotted here and there, and she'd stop and she'd ask, "Have you seen him? Has anyone heard from him? Has he passed through this way?" With no luck. As she journeyed on foot from the sea, through the marshes, into the wilderness, into the sandhills, she finally made it to Camden. But a trip like that takes its toll. By the time she arrived in Camden, she was already very ill. But she was so determined to find her love, she couldn't live without him. Now, legend says that during her time in Camden, she befriended King Haigler. This, though, is probably not really all that true, because he passed away in 1763 when she was still a toddler in Scotland. Her body weary, broken, sick, so sick and broken down, began to fail her. But she just could not live without Angus. And she was so dismayed, so brokenhearted, that through all of that long journey, she had made it all the way there, and he wasn't there. They weren't there. At only 20 years old, Agnes of Glasgow passed away in Camden, South Carolina, and was laid to rest near the old Presbyterian church adjacent to the old Quaker cemetery. She never did find her love, and they say she's still out there looking for him. And if you visit the cemetery at night, which you're not allowed to, don't go do that, that's trespassing, don't go do that, you may see a woman wandering around, still searching for her long-lost love, or so they say. So how far would you go for love? Would you cross oceans? Would you die for it? Would you keep on looking into the afterlife? Let me know. Love you, bye.